Okay, this year is about the mitzvah of Rosh Hashanah, which is Shofar, as the Gemara says, mitzvah hayoim b'Shofar. The first question is, how many tkiyas does a person have to hear in order to be mekayim the mitzvah? So the Mishnah says that the tkiyas are 30 koilos. 30 koilos is the sholosh shel sholosh sholosh. You blow 3 times, and each one has 3. So what does that mean? So the Gemara explains, because in the psukim we find 3 psukim that speak about blowing teruah and blowing a teruah. And every teruah needs a tkiyah before and a tkiyah afterwards. So according to one opinion in the Gemara, Minat Torah, we learn that in order to fulfill the mitzvah, you have to blow 3 times tkiyah, teruah, tkiyah. There's another opinion in the Gemara, Rabbi Shmuel Bar Nachmani, he says that only one is Minat Torah. Minat Torah, you only have to hear 1 time tkiyah, teruah, tkiyah. And the other 2 is midrabanan. There's 2 opinions in the Gemara. One opinion in the Gemara is that Minat Torah, you have to hear 3 times tkiyah, teruah, tkiyah. Second opinion in the Gemara is no, Minat Torah, you only have to hear once tkiyah, teruah, tkiyah. Midrabanan, you have to hear it 3 times. Now, what is a teruah? A tkiyah, everybody knows, tkiyah is a koil poshut, a long, simple sound, straight, simple sound. What is a teruah though? So the Gemara speaks about this, and the Alter Rebbe in Shulchan Aruch says, "V'yesh lehistapik." There is a suffix. What does the teruah mean? Is it what we call teruah, or is it what we call shvorim, or is it what we call shvorim teruah? And therefore, the Alter Rebbe says, "V'tiknu chachamim k'dei lotzeis yedei kol asfeikis." So since we don't know, we're not sure what teruah is. So in order to be yotze the mitzvah without any doubt, we should do 3 times tkiyah, shvorim teruah, tkiyah, that's tashrat, and 3 times tkiyah, shvorim, tkiyah, that's tashat, and 3 times tkiyah, teruah, tkiyah, that's tarat. This way, we'll definitely be fulfilling the mitzvah, which is to blow 3 times tkiyah, teruah, tkiyah. So we'll have done the teruah according to all the possible ways what a teruah is. The way it seems in this Siman Tov Kuf Tzadik is that it's me'ikra din. In order to fulfill the mitzvah, you have to blow 30 koilos. 3 times tashrat, 3 times tashat, and 3 times tarat. And if you don't, there's a suffix if you were mekayim the mitzvah. It could be you were not mekayim the mitzvah. In other words, it's a real suffix. What is the teruah that the Torah says? Doesn't mean what we call teruah, doesn't mean what we call shvarim, doesn't mean what we call shvarim teruah. This seems to be one opinion in the Rishonim. L'chayre, it's the Rambam's shita. But later on, in Siman Tov Kuf Tzadik Aleph, Tzadik Beis, in Siman Tov Kuf Tzadik Beis, speaks about the tkiyas de me'umad, which means that the Chachamim said that this mitzvah to blow shofar on Rosh Hashanah should be done during the time that we say the extra brachas in the mitzvah of Shmoneh Esrei, Malchiyos, Zichronos, and Shofars. That's when we should do the mitzvah of tkiyas shofar midrabanan. And not tell you can do it any time in the day. Chachamim say, no, you should do it al seder habrachos. That's when you should blow the shofar. And then there was another takana that we should first blow tkiyas before Musaf, like we do, and later do it al seder habrachos. And that's the Gemara's question. Gemara has a question. Why do we do it twice? That's the Gemara's question. Lama toikin kishein yoshvim. The toikin kishein oimdim. Because the main takanas chachamim is to blow shofar al seder habrachis. So why do we blow it first before Musaf? The Gemara answers kadela arba v'sasot. Back to the point. Tkiyas the Ma'umad, I'll say that Abrachis. So today what happens is, first we blow Tkiyas the Meyushav. It's called Tkiyas the Meyushav because Be'ikar Adin, you're allowed to sit. Everybody's allowed to sit, Be'ikar Adin. And what do we blow by Tkiyas the Meyushav? Before Musaf, we blow 3 times Tashrat, and 3 times Tashat, and 3 times Tarat. So in the kind of mitzvah, according to all the opinions. Then, when we blow again, I'll say that Abrachas, Malchus, Chreinis, and Shofris, what do we blow then? So it's a discussion here in Shulchan Aruch, based on the Yeshonim, Tosfos, and the Rosh, and the Ran, and others. What is the minute? What do you blow by Malchus, Chreinis, and Shofris? So the Alter Rebbe begins in Sif Dalet that a minute that has been going on back then was that by Malchus they blow Tashrat once, and by Zechronis Tashat once, and by Shofris Tarat once. It's not the way we do it. We blow Tashrat, Tashat, Tarat by each one of them. But there was a minhag to blow only once Tashrat by Malchus, once Tashat by Zechronis, and once Tarat by Shofris. And Tosfos fragt, what's pshat in this minhag? Seems to be a stira. It seems to be a contradiction. If you hold that the trua is shvarim trua, how could you pick and choose? Some by Malchus you blow Tashrat, and by the other two you blow something else. You blow Tashat and Tarat. And if you hold that shvarim is the main trua, how could you only blow it one of the 3 and not the other one? Tosfos fragt, what pshat in this minhag? So, no, it does, because all you need is to blow Tkiya, true what Tkiya, once by Malchus, once by Shofris, once by Zechronis. That's all you need. That's all you need. So, in other words, the 3 together, combined, that's all you need, 30. All you need is 30. So, once by Malchus, once by Zechronis, once by Shofris, it's good enough. So, we have a suffix. We don't know what it is. We do Tashrat, Tashat, Tarat by Malchus, and then again Tashrat, Tashat, Tarat by Zechronis, Tashrat, Tashat, Tarat by Shofris. So we definitely did the Tkiya, Trua, Tkiya by each one of these. Because again, the original mitzvah is to do 3 times Tkiya, Trua, Tkiya. Chachamim say, do it. I'll say that Brocha. Do Tkiya, Trua, Tkiya by Malchus, Tkiya, Trua, Tkiya by Zechronis, and then again by Shofris. But since we don't know what Trua is, so then we do the same thing by Seder HaBrocha, so we blow all of them. So we blow Tashrat, Tashat, Tarat by Malchus, and then again the same by Zechronis, and again the same by Shofris. So we do it according to all opinions. But this original minhag that's brought down here was that no, they blew only Tashrat once by Malchus, and Tashat once by Zechronis, and Tarat once by Shofris was pshat in this minhag. So the Tosfos and the Rosh say, and the way the Alter Rebbe explains it is that there's a different opinion. The second opinion is that there's really no suffix what is needed to be Mekayim the mitzvah. Any type of trua qualifies. If you blow a trua, we call trua, it's fine. If you blow shvarim, it's fine. And if you blow shvarim trua, it's fine. The Lashon of the Alter Rebbe is the Fisha Mina Toida. According to this opinion, Bein shvarim, Bein trua shalonu, hakoil nikra trua, ve'eich sheyase adam. So this shita holds that really there's no suffix. It's not a gather of a suffix. We don't know how to be Mekayim the mitzvah. It doesn't matter. Everything is called trua. Whatever you do, each one is good. But what happened was, because of that, in B'doyres HaRishonim, some places they blew shvarim, and some places they blew trua, and some places did shvarim trua. So then people started having doubts. Hey, what's going on? We're used to hearing shvarim in our place. I hear that over there they blow trua. I hear that over there they blow shvarim trua. People started having doubts. What's going on here? So, because people were starting to have doubts, therefore Rabbi who made a takana, the Gemara brings, to blow all of them, so that it should take away the doubts by the people. It shouldn't look like a machloikus. So, according to this shita, this Rav Hai Goin's shita, it's brought in many Rishonim. So, according to this shita, you don't need 30 koilis to be yoytz the mitzvah minat Torah. However you do it 3 times, tchiyah, through or tchiyah is fine. But since there were different ways of doing it, and people were doing it different minhagim, so the Chacham said, let's do everything. No one should have doubts and think that this is the right way, and that's not the right way. So according to this, Alter Rebbe explains, and the Shon Tosfos and the Rosh explain, that's why these people had the minhag by Malchus, Chremis, and Shofar, they only blew once Tashrat, once Tashat, and once Tarat. Because to show that all of them are good, we did already by Tkiyas the Meyushiv, we blew all of them. So then by Tkiyas the Muhammad, there's no need to show that all. We show that all of them is good by doing once Tashat and once Tashat and once Tarat. Yeah, that's right. So that's the second opinion. So it comes out that according to this second opinion, you don't have to blow 30 koilos to be yotzei mitzvah. You blow 3 times. Either one of them. You did 3 times the original tkiya, true tkiya, you're yotzei mitzvah, according to this second opinion. So what comes out is like this. When you go to blow shofar on mitzvah, you want to blow shofar for people, to be mizakeh them with mitzvah shofar. So how much do you have to blow? So definitely you should blow 30 koilos. Definitely the aim should be to blow 30 koilos, because the way the Alter Rebbe presents it in Tovkuf Tzadik, based on the Rambam Shita, is that it's a chiyuv. It's a chiyuv to blow 30 koilos. In Shulchan Aruch itself, there's 2 shitas here, but it definitely, if we look to be Mekayim, the shita that holds, that's in order to be Mekayim, the mitzvah, you have to do 30 koilos. So in general, when you blow shofar on mitzvah, you're looking to blow 30 koilos. And that's when you make a brocha. But if you are in a place or a situation, a person you can't blow 30, they're not going to stay for 30, then at least blow 10, at least blow tashrat, tarat. Tashrat, tarat. Similar to the minig of those that who blew by Kiyas the Muhammad, once Tashat, and once Tarat.
So basically, if you really press for time, you just do like we do from Chodesh Elul.
So you do like Chodesh Elul, but without a brocha. Yeah, if you press for time and you're not going to do 30, so don't say if I can't do 30, nothing is worth. No. To do like we do Chodesh Elul, Tashat, Tarat, very, very big chance you become the mitzvah. According to many Rishonim, you become the mitzvah. So definitely that's the thing to do, but without a brocha. You only say a brocha if you can do all the 30 koilos. So I'll tell you what's the mile. Because according to Rabbi Shmuel Nachmeini in the Gemara, that he holds that one is midoraisa, the other 2 is midrabanan. So when mitzvah shofar is midoraisa, you blow all 3. Even according to the opinion that holds that it's a suffix, which one is it? According to Shmuel Nachmeini, you're makayim the mitzvah min ha'Torah, because min ha'Torah you have to blow once tkiya through tkiya. According to Shmuel Nachmeini, the Rosh brings such a svara and Tosfos l'gabe this minig, that it could be that we hold like Shmuel Nachmeini that min ha'Torah it's enough to blow only once tkiya through tkiya, and if you hold that it's a real suffix, so then if you do tashrat, tashat, tarat, you definitely did the mitzvah, what's required min ha'Torah, according to Shmuel Nachmeini's opinion in the Gemara. That's why it has a benefit to blow tashrat, tarat, rather than 3 times tashat, or 3 times tarat, or 3 times tashrat. So that's something that maybe works, but it's not shovel akoil. You have to have a mind. If you don't have a mind, it can be a problem. So we don't suggest that generally.
Yeah, look, if you get in the hospital, it's not going to go away. He wants to kind of move.
30 koilos. 30.
To go to Tashrat another time with the breath?
No. Okay, so this is clarified. If you go to Mivtzoyim, you blow 30 koilos. You look to blow 30 koilos as much as you could, for as many people as you could. But if it's a situation where he's going to stay for a little bit, but not 30 koilos, then blow tashat, tarat without a brocha. Another thing about a brocha and not a brocha is zman tkiyas shofar is by yoim. So until shkia, you could blow for someone with a brocha. But after shkia, that's bein hashmoshes, that's a suffix yoim, suffix laila. So then you blow without a brocha. You could blow shofar for someone after shkia, bein hashmoshes. As long as bein hashmoshes is a suffix yoim, so it could be he's being mekayim the mitzvah. But you do it without a bracha, since suffix brachas lahakim.
Would it be a difference also after bein hashmoshes? 30 or not? It's another suffix.
No, you want to do 30. You want to do the best you could. That's good is to blow 30, but a bracha you don't do because the bracha is halakha. Okay, let's look into that. Now, about saying the brachas by when you're being mitzi someone, you're blowing for other people. You're blowing shofar for other people. If you already mekayim the mitzvah, or if you are not being mekayim the mitzvah now, and by the way, you blow shofar for someone at Rosh Hashanah in the morning, you don't have to be yotze with that kiyas shofar. If you want to wait to be mekayim your mitzvah when you're going to hear the shofar in shul with the tzibur, you don't have to be yotze when you blow earlier for someone. You could have a mind that you're not being yotze. You're being mitzi that person. You're blowing to be mitzi that person, but you yourself are not being yotze with this kiyas shofar. So again, in a case where you yourself are not being yotze with this kiyas shofar, the Baal Tekeya is not being yotze, he's just blowing for others. So then the din is that if one of the shoymim, one of the people who hear the shofar knows how to say a bracha, one of the people who hear the shofar should say the brachas out loud and be mitzi everyone else who's hearing. If you're blowing for a few people, one of them knows how to say the brachas, you should let that person say the brachas and be mitzi everyone. If none of them know how to say the bracha, they don't know how to say brachas, then you could say the bracha for them. Be mitzi them with the brachas. Now here it makes a chiluk between a man or a woman. Men are mechuyev in the mitzvah of shofar. Women are not mechuyev in the mitzvah. The mitzvah says shehazman grama, they're not mechuyev in the mitzvah. They accept it upon themselves to do it, even though they're not mechuyev, but they're not mechuyev in the mitzvah. So therefore, if one is blowing only for women, then if the woman or one of the women knows how to say the bracha, they should say the brachas. But if none of them knows how to say the bracha, in this case, the Baal Tekeya cannot say the brachas for the woman, because the only reason why he could say the bracha for someone else is midin arvus. Now we all are guaranteed for each other, like a guarantee to make sure everyone does the mitzvahs that they're obligated to do. But the women are not obligated to do the mitzvahs, so there's no din arvus. So therefore, the Baal Tekeya cannot say a bracha only for women. If he's not being yotze now, he cannot say a bracha to be mitzi the woman. So one of the women should say it. If none of them know how to say it, then you blow without brachas for the woman. It's a suffix. It's a question if you could say Hashem's name to educate them how to say the bracha, because they're not mechuyev in it, so they don't have. It's a shayla. It's not question. No. If you're dealing with a man, then you could say with him word for word and teach him to say the bracha, even if you say Hashem's name. Teach them how to say it, you're allowed to. Just like you could teach children to say brachas, and you want to say Hashem's name with them, so you could also teach a godel to say the bracha when he's mechuyev to say this bracha. At a time that he's mechuyev to say this bracha, he doesn't know how to say it. You could educate him how to say it at that moment and say the words with him, even Hashem's name. But a woman, since she's not mechuyev to blow shofar, she's not mechuyev to say these brachas, so then it's a shayla if you can do it with the woman. If you could find a way not to say Hashem's name, then you could say the bracha with him. Yeah. If someone's blowing for men and women, then you just should make sure that a woman is not going to be mitzi a man with the brachas. Since the women are not obligated, they cannot be mitzi men with the brachas. If you're blowing for men and women, then if one of the men is able to say the bracha, let him say it. If not, then the Baal Tekeya will say it to be mitzi the men and the woman as well. Because since there's a man who needs to be yotze, Baal Tekeya could say for them if they don't know how to say the brachas. Obviously, you have to have kavanah to be mitzi the person. You blow shofar for someone, you have to have kavanah to be mitzi the person, and also to be mitzi them with the brachas. A regular Baal Tekeya has to have kavanah to be mitzi everyone, and also with the brachas. To say a bracha before the mitzvah is a chiyuv on every person. It's called mitzvahs. So there's an Indian that we're yotze with the Baal Tekeya because it's Reivan Hadras Melech. But the point is, he be yoitze with the Baal Tekeya, so you have a mind to be yoitze with the Baal Tekeya, and Baal Tekeya has a mind to be moitzi everyone with the brachas. Now, the Zman of Tkiyas Shofar begins from Alois HaShachar. Could be the Chatchila, you're supposed to wait for Netzachama. But the Alter Rebbe brings that it's better that a yochid should not blow shofar, should not do the mitzvah of shofar before Gimel Shois by Yoim, before 3 hours into the day. Yizoher hayochid shelo yiska tkiyas mitzvah ad achar sholish shois al hayoim. Sholish shois is man krishma. So look in the calendar, when is man krishma? And l'chatchila, if possible, no yochid should be mekayim the mitzvah of shofar before zman krishma in the morning. If there's no other way, if you wait for afterwards, the person is going to miss the mitzvah, then for sure you should blow the shofar. But if there's an option, blow the shofar, have the person hear the shofar before Zman Krishma or after Zman Krishma, should wait until after Zman Krishma, which is Gimel Shois by Yom. The Alter Rebbe says, Alter Rebbe's man, yeah. Now it's about 9:40, I think. So the Alter Rebbe says the reason is because the first 3 hours of the day, the Eibusher does not do things lifnim mishuras hadin. But after 3 hours, then nichnas imoyim lifnim mishuras hadin. An explanation why that is that way. So, therefore, he says a yochid should not blow until after sholish shois. Tzibur will always be accepted. Tzibur is always accepted. Yochid. So this is as a hirus to have in mind, and this would probably mean pashtus. This means that even if someone is not feeling well and they want to eat, but they don't want to eat before shofar, so if they have an option that they should hear the shofar early so they should be able to eat afterwards, or no, they shouldn't hear the shofar early, they should rather eat before, then the preferable option is that they should eat before and hear the shofar later. Because if someone is shvach and needs to eat, they're allowed to eat before shofar. Let me just clarify this, that the Indian of eating before shofar, it says in Shulchan Aruch and Hilchos Lulav, you're not allowed to eat before Mekayim the mitzvah of Lulav on the first day and second day of Sukkos. Sukkos, you're not allowed to eat before you Mekayim the mitzvah of Lulav. And the poskim say, who are din shofar also. And Rosh Hashanah, before you Mekayim the mitzvah of shofar, you're not allowed to eat. What does it mean, the isur to eat? It means achilas kva. Achilas kva means bread or mezainis, baked mezainis, that's more than the size of an egg. That's achilas kva, which is osur to eat before shofar. But what about te'ima? Te'ima means to eat bread or baked mezainis, not more than the size of an egg, or to eat any other foods, ho'etz, adama, shahaka, other foods. So that, the poskim say, is mutter l'tzoyrech godel. Tzoyrech godel, it's mutter. It's not osur min adin, but it's better not to. But the tzedek godel, it's mutter to eat achilas arai before shofar. So what's called tzedek godel? Someone who feels very weak. It's very difficult for him not to eat. If someone feels it's very difficult for him not to eat, so then they're allowed to eat in the morning before shofar. They should be careful not to eat achilas kval. You don't eat bread or baked mezainis that is the type of mezainis that if you eat shir kviya suda, you have to say hamoitzi on it. It's called lechem. Then you shouldn't eat more than the size of an egg of that food.
You're allowed to take like coffee.
But to drink is mutter, right? But to drink before tkiyas is mutter. Drinking is mutter. Drink any type of drink is mutter the morning before tkiyas. Before shofar also, yeah, before shofar. Before lulav, before shofar, it's mutter to drink. But din, it's mutter to drink before shofar. And that has been the minhag generally. It's mutter to drink before shofar. There is a sefer Harekeach that says that Chassidim Harishonim Hayu Misanim when it came to a mitzvah chaviva. when they have a mitzvah chaviva to do this, they would fast until they do the mitzvah. So that's a hanhag of Chassidim Arishonim, an attitude of Chassidim Arishonim. Mitzvah chaviva that comes around once a year, they wouldn't even drink before they do the mitzvah. But that's not a halacha. That's a hanhag. That's brought. So if somebody wants to do this hanhag, fine, but it's okay to drink. It's okay to drink before shofar. No. So you shouldn't forget to do the mitzvah. I think especially you shouldn't forget to do the mitzvah. Yeah. So there is a svara in the poskim that Rosh Hashanah nobody's going to forget to blow shofar. Because haloi davar that the Shulchan Aruch says it in Hilchos Lulav, which comes after Hilchos Shofar. It doesn't say in Hilchos Shofar they're not allowed to eat before shofar. So some of the poskim has mentioned such a svara that could be that by Hilchos Shofar the Shulchan Aruch didn't say you're not allowed to eat before shofar because nobody's going to forget to blow shofar. And Rosh Hashanah you go to shul and okay, but many poskim bring down that who adin the shofar. So for shofar also you have this. But anyway, it's precaution. This is like you shouldn't forget a mitzvah that comes around with man. They get used to doing it. But it's a chashash that you might forget. They don't want you to get involved in eating before.
Eating, let's say, fruits and vegetables. That also on the Torah.
Tzorech Godel, yeah.
Also.
Tzorech Godel, yeah. Well, it's shaykh that by many people today is Tzorech Godel because if you're not going to eat before shofar, you're not going to end up eating until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So for some people, it could be a Tzorech Godel. You don't have to be strict about this.
Right.
Could be, yeah. Anything that you don't have to chew or even turn with your tongue, I think that's called a mashka. Depends. Yeah. I know about that. Yeah. Some could be as a mile, could be. Okay. Now let's speak about the blowing the shofar itself. When you blow shofar, yeah.
Eating before dawn, is that better because that's not true?
Before a chatzi shah, I think it's probably a chatzi shah. No,
That's only
no. That's for your benefit. It's not. It's mana mitzvah begins already from the beginning of the day. For the yochid's benefit, it's better to blow it later. Not that this man begins then. Okay, let's talk about the actual blowing of the shofar. So, yeah, it's important to know, blow the shofar, fulfilling the halachos. If you don't, it's possible that you blow shofar, and if you don't know certain halachos, it could be that the person who's hearing it is not yet to the mitzvah. So it's important to know halachos that are important. So one of them is that when you blow the tkiyas, you have to take a breath between each coil and the next coil. Say, for example, if you're blowing tkiya, shvarim, tkiya, so after the first tkiya, you have to take a breath. And after the shvarim, you have to take a breath again. Between each coil, you're supposed to take a breath.
That's only by tkiyas.
Now, by all the tkiyas, between each coil, you have to take a breath. If you didn't, Alter Rebbe says it's a shaila if you're yotze, you should better blow again. Yeah, that's much for it too. What? Take a breath. You probably have to do both. Take a breath between the tkiya and the next coil. The shvarim and the next between each coil. Tkiya, shvarim, tkiya, tkiya. You must take a breath between each one. Sometimes you can think, I commanded you in one breath. No, if you do that, you're not yikes. According to one opinion, you're not yikes. You must take a breath between the tkiya and then the trua. Each one has to be in its own breath. Because according to one this opinion, if you don't take a breath in the middle, it's like one long coil. It's not called two separate. So that's one thing you have to know. You take a breath between every coil and the next coil. And then the question is, what about by shvarim trua? Between the shvarim and the trua, what do you do? Between the shvarim and the trua. So there are two opinions of Shulchan Aruch. And the minig is that by tkiyas to meyushiv, by 30 koilis, that everyone's behind the mitzvah shofar meikir adin, we do it b'neshima achs. That's the minig. I'm not going to get into the details of this. But that's the minig, and Generally, this is what we assume, that when you blow shofar on Mivtzoyim 30 koilos, you blow the shvarim trua b'neshima achas. That means you don't stop between you don't take a breath between the shvarim and the trua. You don't take a breath between the shvarim and the trua. It says that you should blow in such a way that it should be clear that the shvarim and the trua are two separate koilos. Nobody should think that the trua is part of the shvarim. You should pause a second or less than a second. Like a little pause between the shvarim and the trua. That it should be clear that the shvarim ended and the trua started. That's what says the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch. But no breath in between. That's the way it's done by the 30 koilos. When you daven with the minyan and tkiyas the me'umid, tkiyas al seder habrachas, by musif, those are done with a breath in between the shvarim and the trua. What is a tkiyah? What's the proper way to? Oh, before I get to that, there's also another rule, a general rule that the length of the tkiyah, how long does the tkiyah have to be? The length of the tkiyah has to be the same length as the coil that's coming after the tkiyah. So if you're blowing shvarim, the length of the tkiyah has to be as long as it takes to blow a shvarim. In other words, tkiyah you can do as long as you want, right? A shvarim, generally, every shever has the same length, generally. So don't talk about shvarim. Trua, 9 little koilos. It's trua. Trua needs 9 little koilos. Two opinions, but we say they have to do 9 little true maintenance call. So the tkiyah has to be as long as that. So basically, Tashrat needs the longest tkiyas, because by Tashrat you're blowing a shvarim and a trua in the middle, so then the tkiyah has to be as long as it takes to blow a shvarim and a trua. What does that mean? No. It means the requirement, the minimum requirement of how long it has to be. To say that your tkiyah should be as long as your trua, that's a hidur. That's some people have a hidur, but it's not a halach. It's not halach. Halacha requires that your tkiyah should be as long as the minimum requirement of a shvarim trua, or shvarim or trua. Last one also, the one afterwards also, right? So basically, shvarim and trua are the same. Shvarim and trua are the same. The Alter Rebbe says that a shir of a shever is like gimel koiches, like 3 truas. So that means 3 shvarim equals the same as a trua. Trua is 9, and each shever is supposed to be the shir of 3. So tashat and tarat, shorter tkiyas, just has to be as long as it takes to do 9 times tutu. It's very short, it's not long. Tashrat is a little longer. So it would be like 18 tutus. Double. Basically, Tashrat would be double the length of the tkiyah. So you have to make sure to do that. It's not very long, though. I don't think it has to be very long. It's not very long, but you have to give it some length. Sure, it's long enough. Now, tkiyah is meant to be a coil poshut. What's the way to blow a tkiyah? To coil poshut. And the proper way to blow a coil poshut is that it's a straight, smooth coil, and it doesn't have a beginning and it doesn't have an end. That means no beginning and no end. Beginning would mean you go to who, that's a beginning. No, but don't give it a beginning. And the end would be to who. So no, that end is not part of the tkiyah. If anything, the end gives it like a different sound. The tkiyah is supposed to be a straight sound. Shvarim and trua are supposed to be a little bit like a crying sound. So if you do that, it's ooh, and the end could be a little bit like a crying sound. It's not supposed to be there. Tkiyah, the coil poshet, is straight coil, no beginning and no end. That's the mehuda de tkiyah. Just takes practice. It's easy to do it. The shvarim. What is a shvarim? So there's basically 2 minhagim in how to blow a shvarim. One is that shvarim means that you break up the tkiyah in 3 parts. So you blow 3 short tkiyas, so to say. So it's 2, 3 short ones. That's one way of shvarim. The other way of shvarim is that the coil itself gets interrupted in the middle. So the coil of the shvarim sound is tu-utu, tu-utu, tu-utu. The coil itself gets interrupted in the middle. And this type of coil, tu-utu, is basically equals 3 truas. Two. You have a 2 and a 2 in the middle. The ooh is an interruption in the coil. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That's a coil of a shever according to Minig Lubavitch. Minig Lubavitch, we do the shvarim that way. In that kufa, so again, we want to know what's the shvarim according to Minig Lubavitch. It's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. It's one sound. It's one long sound. It's just interrupting in the middle. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 3 of those. 3 of those. 2, 2, 2. 3 straight small ones. 3 straight small ones. Short ones. The second way is no. Each coil is broken in the middle. It's interrupted in the middle. No. It's easy. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. You don't have to. I don't think you. 2, 2, 2, 2. No, you practice. You get it. It's easy. I'm not sure if you have to use your tongue. I don't know. Whatever is necessary. But it's easy. No, one shever is 2, 2. That's one shever. 2, 2. 2, 2 is 2 sounds because it got interrupted in the middle. That's why it sounds like 2 sounds. It's not 2, 2. 2, 2 is 2 truas. 2, 2 is a shever. 2, 2 is 2 truas. 2, 2 is a shever. Now, let me tell you something. Now let's go like this. However, there's another way to do it. The other way to do it is that you connect all the 3 shvarim. Connect them all. What does it mean you connect them all? You don't do 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That's 3 individual shvarim. Connect them all. They go like this. 2, 2, 2, 2. So the second and the third are a hemshich. So really what you're listening to is 2, 2, 2, 2. That's how I remember the Rebbe Bluming. 2, 2, 2, 2. So beginning is 2, 2. That's how you start off with 2, 2, 2. But then you keep on going 2, 2, 2, 2. So if you write it with a pen and paper, you would write 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That's what you would write it with paper. 2, 2, and then Aleph, 2, 2, 2. Yeah. So that's the shvarim in Minig Lubavitch. A minute. Get to that. Two, 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 two. Yeah, what? You imagine that the second and the third is ooh, two. Not 2, 2, but ooh, 2. First one is 2, 2. Yeah, first one is 2 sounds with an interruption. The next one is only 1 sound and an interruption. 2, 2, 2, 2. If you practice, you'll get it. But if you can't, if the first way is easy, that's the shvarim Lubavitch. You could go 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. You go like that also. That's fine. That's the official shvarim. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. You can do that if it's easier. But another way, which is to connect them all. That's how the Rebbe blew, the way I remember. Now, there's something else that the Rebbe blew. In Sheva Chamoyadim it says that the Rebbe, when he finished the shvarim, he blew a koil kotzor me'oid. That's what it says in Sheva Chamoyadim. The Rebbe blew a koil kotzor me'oid after the shvarim. What is this koil kotzor me'oid? What is it? So I'll tell you, B'kitzur, there's a letter in Igris Koy, the Shchelik Chof. It's a letter from the Rebbe to Rav Yankel Landau, who was the Rebbe in B'nai Brak. The Rebbe asked Rav Yankel Landau, does he remember how the shvarim was blown in Lubavitch? That means by the Rebbe Rashab. How was the shvarim Rebbe Rashab? So Yankel Landau writes, "Chashavti shegam b'inyan hashvarim hu davar shayich rak leRebbe." He thought that that's a Rebbe she'inyan that the Rebbe Rashab did, but it's not shayich to us. So the Rebbe writes back to him that this is true, with his own personal hanhagos, But Tzorech Ian Godel, if this is true, with something that the Rebbe did, L'hoitzi Achedim, Rebbe Rashab Blue, to be moitzi everyone in the shul, and it's a mitzvah sesem minat Torah, and it's befar Hesya, and by Shofar, the Rebbe says, every person is being mekayim the mitzvah by himself, because the mitzvah is to hear the koil. So he's not being yoitze with the Rebbe's mitzvah. The Rebbe is blowing, and through the Rebbe's tkiyas, everybody's doing their own mitzvah by hearing the koil. So everybody comes out is hearing the shvarim, the oifen that the Rebbe did. So therefore the Rebbe feels that it's shaykh to everyone. So the Rebbe wanted to know, what's this shvarim in Lubavitch, how was it? So in that letter, it doesn't say what it was, but in Rishimas Dvarim of Chitrik, there it says that it was shloisha v'chatzi, 3.5 shvarim. This is what the Rebbe Rashab Lu in Lubavitch, 3.5 shvarim. So what does it mean, a half a shever? So if a whole shever is 2 utu, and a half a shever is utu, very short utu. Not 2, and not tutu, utu. A short utu is a half a shever. So the way the Rebbe, I remember the Rebbe blowing is 2 utu, 2 utu, 2 utu, 2 utu. There's a short utu after the last shever. Short utu after the last shever. So you have to know it's not 2 and it's not tutu. And the koil kotzem oid is a short shever, not stam 2. Stam 2 is nothing. It's 3.5 shvarim. 3.5 shvarim means a short utu that comes the hemshich to the third shever. This also you can practice. If you get it good, good. If you don't get it good, then don't do it. It's blowing on mitzvah. No, it's not mahakim at all. It's the minig Lubavitch. If you're blowing on mitzvah, you're not blowing for Lubavitch chasidim. You're blowing for. Yeah. No, it's in other words, it's okay to add another shever. If you blow 4 shvarim, it's not a problem. Shulchan Aruch says that the minig is not to add shvarim. True is you could add as many as you want. Shulchan Aruch says, we don't add. But if you did add, it's not a problem. So if this is a minig for some reason, do 3.5 shvarim, Rebbe Rashab did so, and therefore the Rebbe says that it's important, we should know about it. The Rebbe blew this way, so many people do it, but it's important to do it right, because if you blow one little coil 2 or 2, that's not a coil that doesn't belong there. Why? Because but you're not planning on doing a trua though. You're not planning on doing a trua. 2 is not a trua. You're not planning on doing trua, and it's not a trua. It's just 2. It's not really a problem, but it's a stray. It's a foreign coil. It doesn't belong there. That's all. I don't think it's a problem. It's a foreign coil that doesn't belong there. Okay, that's the clarification of the Suras Hashvorim.
The first shvarim is 2, the second shvarim is 2, and the extra one at the end is 2.
Second 2 are utu, like 2 u's. Utu, utu, utu. And the last one is utu. So, utu, utu. Utu. It's very short utu. Very short utu in the end. Very short utu that connects to the third shev. Then comes truas, and trua. I don't know if the Friedrich Rebbe blew much in America. I don't know how much the Rebbe heard the Rebbe's keys. I'm not sure. Trua, everyone knows that Trua is what? Trua is short kaidas, 2. If you want to know how the Rebbe blew this the Trua slow. Many people blow it quick, 2. The Rebbe blew it slow, 2. Slow truas. Doesn't make a difference if you blow it slow or quick, both are good. The Rebbe did it slow. I don't know. I wasn't. I heard Tiyas from Tafshim Mem Aleph. I don't know. I don't know.
What are you saying? Tafshim design and also did it slow.
Also did it slow. Huh?
But
Yud Zayin.
Yeah.
Yeah, always slow. Slow. Okay. Okay, if someone makes a mistake, what do you have to do if you make a mistake? So basically, I advise everyone, if you want to know what you do, you make a mistake, so take at least the Sheva Chamoyadim. He has one chapter about the mistakes. You should get clarity. Generally, you're not going to make a mistake. That's going to be a problem. In other words, a real mistake means that if you were supposed to blow a shvar and you thought that you're supposed to blow a trua and you started blowing a trua, that's a problem. Like by Tashat, you're supposed to blow Tkiya Shvarim Trua, and instead of the Shvarim, you made a mistake. You thought you're supposed to blow a Trua, you started blowing a Trua. So then this Trua is a problem, and you have to start over from the Tkiya again. Then you can't just do the Shvarim, then you have to start over from the Tkiya again. Because if you had a mind to blow a Trua, you put in a Trua in this Bava, and it doesn't belong here. So it's a hefsik between the Tkiya and the Shvarim. So it's no good. So you have to do another Tkiya. But generally, you don't make such mistakes. I don't think it's common that you make a mistake that you plan on doing the wrong one in the wrong place. It's not so common, but that's a problem. What?
It's just a matter of like you.
Yeah, if I'm trying to blow a tkiya and I'm blowing two, there's a gate nish and there, so till it goes good, it's fine, whatever. If you're trying to blow it, as long as it didn't come out to be a different coil that's kosher, you're trying to blow a coil, as long and it didn't come out good. As long as what came out was not a different coil that's kosher, like a trua or a shvarim, then it's not a problem. You just continue to blow. Okay, fine, yeah. So if you have to do the wrong one, then you have to do the tkiya over again. For more details, look in at least the Sheva Chamoyadim. That's Vedic. Okay. Few more points that are relevant. There's a halach in Shulchan Aruch that you're not allowed to blow shofar for nothing on Rosh Hashanah. In other words, once you did the mitzvah already, not allowed to blow shofar. And however, you are allowed to practice on that day to be able to blow on that day. That you're allowed to do. That's called the tzorich for the mitzvah. Practice. You want to practice on the day of Rosh Hashanah to blow that day. Not allowed to practice blow the next day, but this year it's not Shaykh, this first day is Shabbos. And there's only one exception, that you're allowed to tell a kotan, anybody under bar mitzvah, you're allowed to tell them to blow shofar a whole day. They can blow shofar a whole day, because that's the mitzvah of chinuch. The big mechanech, the child, that has a mitzvah to blow shofar today. That's what you're telling him, blow a shofar, blow a shofar. So in Mekayim mitzvah chinuch, if you tell a child to blow a whole day, a child can blow shofar. Another thing that's relevant to the shofar is muktzah. And the type of muktzah that a shofar is, so this year it varies on Shabbos, between the first day of Rosh Hashanah and the second day. On Shabbos, shofar is a kli shemalachtel isur. On Shabbos, the shofar is muktzah because it's a kli shemalachtel isur. However, kli shemalachtel isur, you're allowed to move l'tzorech gufoy u'makayim. So, tzorech gufoy could be if I have a shofar near me and I have a sefer and the pages are closing, and I want to put something down on the pages to hold the pages down. So on Shabbos, theoretically, I would be able to take a shofar, put it on the pages of my sefer to hold the sefer down. It's tzorech gufoy. But on Yom Tov Rosh Hashanah, it's not Shabbos. A shofar is called muktzah machmas mitzvah, muktzah mitzvosai. It's set aside for the mitzvah, and that asers you to use the shofar for anything else. So he says, on the day of Rosh Hashanah, when you do blow the shofar, you're not allowed to use the shofar. It's a unique type of muktzah that's called huktzah mitzvosei, which means it's set aside for the mitzvah. You're not allowed to use it for anything else, even to hold down your machzer. You're not allowed to use the shofar on the second day of Rosh Hashanah because it's huktzah mitzvosei. What? Most years it's true on both days, but this year it's true only on the second day. That's right. Okay, I think it's a general chazara of many important halachas about shofar, mitzvah of shofar, to be able to be mekayim the mitzvah and be mezaki, even with mitzvah shofar and mitzvah shofar. Just share with you a nice gematia that I heard on Shabbos in Parshas Nitzavim. It says, "V'shov v'kibetzcha mikol ha'amim." The gematia exactly Tofshin Peyal. Yes, questions are if there's a minimum if you could ask after mine, but okay, yeah. Also 30 toilets. Okay, same thing. Same thing. No, 30 is fine. Okay, everyone take Halachos. No, according to some opinions, yeah. So if you have the option to do only that, do that without a brocha. Yeah. Like an L, without a brocha. That's what's according to many opinions. So it's better to blow her later when you come home. She could eat. Yeah. Wait until late. Yeah.